All right, Ohio State wins. 60-point victory on a cold, chilly day here at Ohio Stadium. And let's hear your thoughts. All right, what's your name?
Bill. I'm Bill.
All right, Bill. A 60-point victory. That's a lot of points.
A lot of points, yeah. I know. Just like to say, free Chase Young. But it was good to see the boys out here. Typically, a game like this in November, I might be a little worried, but it felt good. Not worried for a second.
Justin Fields, 200 yards exactly,
Yeah.
accounted for 3 touchdowns. He played some good football, but it was a little inconsistent today. I guess you'd rather have that against Maryland, but what are your thoughts on him?
He was, yeah, like you said, he was a little inconsistent, but I mean, he only played a half. So he would have had more time to get more yards. But yeah, he was a little up and down, but I'd rather have it this week and next week than get ready for Penn State and Michigan.
So even without Chase Young, Davon Hamilton had 2 sacks. He had a really nice game. Tough Borland had a sack.
Yeah.
The rest of the D-line looked pretty good too. So, I don't know how long Chase is going to be out. I don't think anybody really does at this point. But do you think they can keep up the momentum here?
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, see the young guys in there, Teron Vincent and Zach Harrison get in there, and hopefully everyone can stay healthy and get some sacks, and I think they'll be all right.
All right, so Rutgers next week. Penn State lost. They lost to Minnesota, so that'll be an interesting game when they come to Columbus in 2 weeks. And then Michigan after that. How do you see the end of the year going?
I say this every year, but I think this is the best Buckeye team I've ever seen. I feel really good about it. I'm obviously worried. I think Penn State's a really good team. I think Team Up North's a really good team. Woo! But yeah, I don't know. I feel good. And Minnesota and Big Ten championship game maybe might be tough too. So I don't know. It looks good though. I'm excited.
Should be a fun one. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so the man Travis is here. First off, though, quick shout out to Travis's mom, Marty, just retired from Ohio State after 25 dedicated years of service. So big shout out to her. Thoughts on the game?
That's how the number 1 team plays against an inferior team like Maryland, who's won 3 games. All phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, it's dominance. That's the best team in the nation right there, minus Chase Young. And the Chase Young situation, if he's out 3 games, 4 games, whatever, we have enough talent and depth, we'll be okay. He's a monster. He probably won't win the Heisman now, but he's still the best defensive player in all of college football, period. Critiques, I mean, our starters played the first half. We rested them second half like we're supposed to. We were very explosive. The referees in the penalty zone in the second half, the second stringers, that was really aggravating. I mean, back-to-back 15-yard penalties, actually 3 in a row. Second teamers have to fix it. They blew the shutout. So, the defensive guys will let them hear about it, but that's how you play. And the committee has obviously rewarded Ohio State with the eye test for scores like this, inferior opponents. You got to blow them out. You have to. And whereas Penn State, they didn't take care of their business. And now they're going to be the outside looking in. And they kind of screw our strength of schedule. But it won't matter at the end of the day when we're in Indianapolis, because I really believe this is the team that's going to get there. So, I mean, perfect game from start to finish.
Yeah, so you talked about Chase a little bit. We don't know how long he's going to be out. They're saying 2 to 4 games maybe, but it does appear he'll be back at some point this season. But nonetheless, still a big loss. Davon Hamilton and the rest of the D-line look pretty good today, though. You think they can kind of keep it up?
They all played it well as a unit. I mean, even Tariq Smith, who's going to be basically Chase Young's the next heir apparent. Larry Johnson does a great job here, defensive line coach here at Ohio State. Next man up, and I'm not really worried about it. It's kind of a shame that, this is all basically done because Chase Young wanted to bring his girlfriend to the Rose Bowl, and they needed a way to pay for her to go. And I'm kind of glad that players will soon be able to make money on their own likeness so they can take care of issues like this, because this is stupid. The NCAA is backwards. I mean, people were kind of freaking out before we knew what was going on. What could he have done? I'm like, I don't think Chase is a bad guy. He was trying to, take a family member to go watch him play in the Rose Bowl. And, I mean, I get it. The NCAA doesn't want to believe it's an agent thing. I get why this rule is in place, but it's 2019. Get with the times. It's just depressing that we have to have a player sit out because of something like this. I mean, I'm frustrated, but I think our team overall, team speed and team mentality, and next man up, we'll be fine. We'll be fine coming through the rest of the season.
All right, so last question here. Speaking of the rest of the season, you got Rutgers next week, Penn State, which obviously now looks a little more easy maybe. They're beatable, obviously. And then Michigan on the road. How do you think it's going to go?
Rutgers is a joke. They don't. It's going to be another Maryland. It's going to be another blowout. Take care of your business. Penn State. I believe Penn State is human. The writing was kind of on the wall when they played Michigan this year, letting Michigan back in the game. Penn State's always a pain, and Penn State could have 1 loss or 2 losses. Penn State will get off the playoffs, and we have to play our very best then. And on that team up north, they would love to just beat us and screw over a season because that's all they really have to play for. Like, let's be honest. And, Jim Harbaugh kind of really needs a win. I mean, they beat Notre Dame, a Notre Dame team that was awful in the rain. Right. They ran all over Notre Dame. It's the only reason they beat Notre Dame. They would love nothing more than to beat us. But I think our talent, our depth, playing Penn State here is going to be a huge advantage. It's going to be an insane asylum in there. Good luck, Penn State. Have fun. And going up there, going up to the north, that Michigan Stadium, that's the only thing that really kind of bothers me because the last time we lost to them was up there in a scenario kind of similar to this. But I believe, with the talent depth, we clean up the mistakes. We're focused. We're ready to go. And Ryan Day is coach of the year, period. Regardless of what happens, he is the coach of the year of college football. I mean, Nick Saban can eat his heart out for all I care.
All right, what's your name?
PJ Tobin.
All right, PJ. So
That's actually my username on 11 Warriors.
Oh, very good. There you go. So if you guys see him in the comments there, make sure you give him a shout out. 60-point win. That's a lot of points.
Yes, it's almost like last year's game, except we scored all the points this time. So it was amazing. So
Justin Fields, I think he had 200 yards exactly, 3 touchdowns responsible for. How do you think he played?
left-handed. He pretty much could have done it blindfolded. He looked amazing today and unstoppable.
I thought he was pretty good also. And then on the other side of the ball, Chase suspended here. We'll see how many games. They're not quite sure yet. But Davon Hamilton, Tyreek Smith had 2 sacks each. The rest of the D-line looked pretty good. You think they can keep it up going down the stretch?
Absolutely. We reload. We're the Buckeyes. We're the Silver Bullets. Chase Young is a stud, absolutely. Look what happened last year. Nick Bosa goes down. They step up. So it sucks, but ultimately, we're the Buckeyes. That's what we do.
Yeah, and so Rutgers next week should be a pretty easy game. And then you got Penn State and Michigan. Michigan on the road. How do you think the rest of the season is going to go?
Well, we're going to win next week for sure because I'm going to the game. He's going to the game. So we're going to be there making sure we win. It's going to be a nail-biter for the last 2. Penn State getting beat today, I don't like that. I wanted them to be on a high end, on their high horse coming in. But we'll take it. The only people that are going to beat the Buckeyes this year are the Buckeyes. I think everyone's saying that. I think Day has a mindset, though, and he has them laser sharp and focused. Even our third string was scoring on Maryland, which, let's face it, they're not the greatest team in the world, but at the end of the day, they're still Big Ten and they're still great players. So I think going into the last 2 games of the season, I think there's going to be some ass whipping handed out. I think they're just seeing that onside punt today. Day is putting things out there that I've never got to see before as a Buckeye fan. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what he's got in store to kick that team up North's ass. So.
All right, what are your names?
Michelle.
Allie.
So Ohio State won by 60 points.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
Yes, it was awesome. Yeah.
So
Touchdown after another.
yeah, and the defense, they didn't allow that many touchdowns, only 2.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great, guys. All right, what's your name?
Bill.
Bill. So Ohio State, big victory today, 60 points. Thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought it was fun. I stayed for the whole time, wanted to cheer on everybody that got to play. A lot of people left, but hey, we came in from Austin, Texas, so we were going to stay the whole game. I thought the defense was outstanding. Hopefully they'll get Chase back, but I think they played well.
Yeah. So speaking of Austin, Texas, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver,
Yes,
of course,
yes, absolutely.
from Austin, caught a touchdown today.
He did,
Thoughts
did.
on him?
Oh, I think he's going to be fantastic. He just seems to be like an all-around player. Good blocker, good pass catcher, runner. I'm excited.
Yeah. So down the stretch now, Penn State lost today. So you'll have Rutgers next week. Should be a pretty easy win. A 1-loss Penn State after that, and then Michigan at the Big House.
Right.
How do you think the rest of the way is going to go?
I think we get past Penn State, and I think Michigan's going to probably give us more of a game than people are thinking, but I think we're going to squeak that out.
All right. You guys heard it here first. All right. What's your name?
Steve.
Steve. So a big win for Ohio State today. knocking off Maryland. Pretty easy from start to finish. What were your thoughts?
I mean, it was 44-point spread, so I figured it'd be a blowout. So it was just good that everybody, got through the game. No major injuries, at least that I saw. We finished like 600 yards, plus of offense, so that was good. So no complaints from me.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase Young, of course, suspended. We'll see how long he's out. Rest of the D-line looked pretty good, though. Tyreek Smith.
Devon Hamilton had a sack early on.
Yeah, Davon had 2, and Tyreek had 2, and Zach Harrison also had 1.
I was sitting up in C deck, so it's kind of hard to see from way up there. But yeah, it looks like I think they had at one point they had 6 or 7 sacks. So that's good to see the young guys, getting involved. I mean, well, Devon's a senior, but the rest of the defensive ends and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. So down the stretch now, Rutgers should be a pretty easy win. Penn State, who lost today.
I know.
Yep, and then Michigan. So how do you think they're going to come through it?
Not worried at all about next week, obviously. Penn State, I mean, seeing them get beat by Minnesota makes you feel a little bit better about that game, even though Chase may or may not play. So I feel okay about that game since it's at home. And Michigan on the road, it's going to be a tough one no matter what. It is every year. So, but I feel good about the chances of finishing undefeated in the regular season.